Hey guys, right here. We've got another Splinter Cell Blacklist loadout video for you. This time we're going to be doing a mercenary class I like to call the Ghostbuster. Now the Ghostbuster is used primarily to basically take out any, what I like to call ghosting spies, or spies who are running as a ghost. Meaning they're using their cloaking abilities, they're using the ghillie suit, they're using a lot of stealth. If you see a lot of spies running around like that, and guarantee you will if you play any amount of Spies versus Mercenary game modes, you'll see the cloaked spies. This is a good one to kind of keep them from using their cloaking abilities, cause a little bit of havoc in their vision modes, and keep them from trying to sneak up on you and get a cloaked melee kill, for example. So let's go ahead and get into the build. First thing we're going to be doing with this build is using our disruptor suit. Now the disruptor suit is great for causing a cloaked spy a lot of just headaches. The disruptor will basically send out a pulse that will disable, temporarily disables gadgets and goggles, and basically any suit abilities in and around any spies that are in your area. It basically sends out a pulse within a 15 foot or so diameter away from a mercenary. So any spy trying to get in close to you, get into your area, use a cloaking ability or stealth ability to get close and get a melee kill, is going to basically have their vision mode taken away from them as well as their suit ability taken away. If they're already cloaked, it will disable the cloak and you'll be able to see them. And if they get in the area and they haven't used their ability yet, they will be unable to until they get away from your disruptor area and your disruptor zone. So for that case alone, we're going to be using this disruptor suit to really cause them havoc. Works great when you enter an area where there's some spies that are hacking a control point and you know there's a ghosting spy there somewhere that's hacking. Great way to use that to find them. The headgear we're going to use is a detection enhancer. We're using this because no matter what vision mode you tend to want to use, or what goggles you tend to want to use, you'll see in this build I tend to use the RFD. But if you use a motion tracker or even the ATS, it's going to enhance those abilities. For example, with the motion tracker, it increases the frequency of the pulse that it sends out. So thus you can kind of, their blips will show up on the motion tracker that much faster, that much quicker, with that much more frequency. And same thing with the RFD goggles that I tend to use here. You'll be able to see them quicker, faster, better ranges, things like that. So just really a good helmet. And you could run, if you decided to, maybe with an anti-flash visor if they're using a lot of flashbang grenades and you want to switch to something that allows you to be able to do that. But if you're going to do that, I'd suggest checking out my close quarters build for using something like that, really where you tend to run a little bit more, a little faster with a flash visor and shotgun. This build, we're using this as a hybrid build to where we can keep spies off us, keep their cloaking abilities off us, as well as use a weapon that's good in long range and short range fire. So I'll show you that in a second here. Okay, next we're going to go ahead, let's take a look at the gloves. Basically I chose the gunslinger gloves because I want to be able to go for faster weapon swapping. Basically because I'm using an assault rifle with this build, if I run out of a clip and the assault rifle shooting at an enemy who's running away from me, I want to be able to switch quickly to a handgun to maybe finish off and get the kill. If you decide to use this build with a shotgun, which it would work perfectly with this build, you would maybe want to go with the fast reload gloves instead. So either one, just if you use assault rifles, use the gunslinger gloves, or if you use a shotgun, maybe the fast reload gloves will work better, but it's your choice on that one. Gadget pants is what we're using, pretty self-explanatory. We want to use multiple gadgets in this case, so we're using the gadget pants here. And boots, we're going to use the Splinter boots because we want to be fast and quick. Again, preference if you decide that you want to go maybe with the sharpshooter boots to give you a little more ability, weapon handling ability when aiming down sight. That's one. I like the Splinter boots because I want to be able to get quickly from point A to point B. With the Splinter boots you can get there just a little faster and you're a little quicker. Let's go ahead and get in. Again, the goggles, we already discussed those. I use RFD, just personal preference in that point, but I tend to like RFD. You'd be surprised how many spies don't use the RFD disruptor. So when they use their vision modes, you can see them, and they'll forget that even if they're not cloaked. They'll turn on that vision mode, and you'll be able to see them. Also with RFD, if they are cloaked, you will see them if they're in range. That's a big point I need to make here with the Ghostbuster. If they are cloaked, RFD will pick them up. You'll get that little white box around them. So important to have the RFD. Even if they have the RFD disruptor, from what I understand, the RFD disruptor helmet for the spies only disrupts if they're using a vision mode. doesn't disrupt if they're using their suit ability, which is the cloak. So in that case, we want to have our FD still so we can see them when they're trying to cloak. Oops, sorry about that. Let me go ahead and go back in here to the gadgets now. I tend to use one grenade with this class, and then maybe a resupply pack. If you wanted to mix the resupply pack up with maybe a grenade and an intel device, that would be great. I tend to use gas grenades because I want to be able to flush ghosting spies out of their little hiding spots. Frag grenades do that as well. However, you'd be surprised how many how much the uses the gas grenade has. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I love using them on hack points when we're trying to defend a hack point that just got hacked. We kill the hacker, there's that countdown timer, you throw a couple gas grenades on there. Excellent to keep any spies from getting in and rehacking it. Throw it in areas where you think a spy might be, and you get that cloud of smoke, you hear the coughing, you know they're there. Just great for flushing out spies. But again, if you wanted to change that with maybe a frag grenade, that would be well. And then maybe if you want to have a little more detectability or detection abilities, maybe switch one of them with the intel device as well. That might work well for you. Now the weapons here. Pistol, I go with the PX45 Storm. Again, it's really up to you. I like the kind of overall ability of this weapon. I like the overall power it gives off, the accuracy and control. Just a great weapon. But again, if you're going to be up close, worried about spies that are getting up close, you might switch to the Deagle, or the Desert Eagle here, and go with that instead. Really, just personal preference there, which is up to you. I'd say if you do run this class with a shotgun, use maybe the PX4 Storm 45 or the Makarov. That give you a little bit more range, a little bit more long range lethality, because you're not going to have that with a shotgun. And the alternate weapon here, I tend to go for weapons here. In this case, I'm running the Goblin. I've also used the ARX 160 with this build. But really, again, a weapon that has a good solid fire rate, but can also deal out damage at longer ranges. So for that case, I tend to go with either the Goblin. I've just been using the Goblin lately just to kind of mess with it. It seems to work well with this build, as well as I know the ARX 160 does. But what these weapons will do is they have the high fire rate, so if a spy's coming in close to you and you can get your targeting on him quick enough, you should be able to spit out enough bullets to usually get a kill on him, and thus do damage. Plus, they're very accurate weapons at longer ranges, which help if they're across the room, hanging on a ledge. You spot them, want to get a kill. Great for doing that as well. So, but again, experiment with it. If you find a weapon maybe that works better for you, by all means use it. These are just ones that kind of work for me in this build. That's pretty much it for the build here for this Ghostbuster. Again, the build that I like to use against these pesky spies. Again, certain things you can mix and match. I'd say try it with an assault rifle or a shotgun, depending on how you want to use it. And without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at some video here we have of this build. Okay guys, so a couple things to keep in mind here when we're reviewing this video is notice how when I use the disruptor, it's almost always when entering an area that a spy is hacking a control point. I tend to use it then. That's when usually you're going to run into a concentrated amount of spies. You're going to run into a hacking spy as well as his defenders. So I just think it's best that usually you have this disruptor running when it's going to be most effective, which is when you're infiltrating an area like this. Now, I usually do most of these videos in relation to how to use it playing this normal Blacklist game mode. However, again, a kit like this, an outfit like this, a loadout like this is going to work well in doing other things like the extraction gameplay and some other things like that, where you can actually use that when working with a group of mercenaries to your benefit. So what I wanted to do with these video clips here is to give you an idea of how this kit works in many different ways. Knowing the map, of course, works well. As you see this clip here, I toss just a gas grenade over there because I figure that might be where he's hiding out, and then eventually I see that he is choking on the gas, and one of my friendly mercs takes him out and kills him, gets the kill there. Now in this upcoming clip here, this is where the disruptor suit in conjunction with the gas grenades works. I'm looking for a hacking spy. I toss a gas grenade up here and it flushes him out. Now he's not really able to see me too well because my disruptor is disrupting his vision mode. He doesn't know I'm there. He hops out right to me, so the gas grenade flushed him out and I was able to get the kill with my weapon. So really what this kit kind of utilizes well is being able to use one thing like the gas grenades in conjunction with the disruptor suit to, for example, flush an enemy out and then also disable his ability to escape. And then also there's kind of some differences here. For example, you'll see in this upcoming clip here that I actually am able to use the RFD goggles to see the enemy hacking spy before my disruptor hits him. Once your disruptor hits a spy, the RFD is going to do you no good because he's going to basically not be able to use his vision modes or his suit abilities. But you see here, I see him over there, my disruptor gets close to him, he then bails out, and I'm able to get the kill. Well guys, thanks for watching this video. I do appreciate it. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and comment. And be sure to check out all my other great Splinter Cell gaming videos that I have on my channel. Until next time, this is Rai. Take care.